Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a new game in the Exit line. This is in their family line specifically, and this is the Mystery at Meanstone Manor and the Caper at Candy Castle. This is going to be a 2 escape adventure, so you do have both cases in this box, and it's specifically geared towards family. I'm a really big fan of the Exit series. They're kind of escape room kind of games where you're solving some sort of mystery and looking for different clues and putting it together using everything that comes in the box, all the resources. I'm a really big fan of these games, but this is my first venture into their family line. So before we go too much into my thoughts though, let's check out how it plays. A very high overview here in order to avoid any spoilers. So do keep that in mind. There are a lot more materials that come with the game, a lot more riddle cards, a lot more solution cards, but I don't want to show too much and kind of ruin that surprise. So you are going to have a storybook here as well as a rule book. Once you know how to play, it is going to reference it a couple times to move the story along, so you'll keep that handy. And then you have your help book as well. To start each adventure here, you're going to have a riddle card that it's going to tell you to take. When you turn it over, it's going to give you some sort of riddle or some sort of puzzle to do. Sometimes it's going to reference other materials in the box, and it's going to be very clear telling you what you need to take. But all the riddle cards are going to have letters on the back. Once you solve that riddle, you're going to have a 3-digit code. In this case here, we are working on the purple riddle, as you can see, because it matches. So let's say that code that we ended up with was 3, 4, 6. There we go. So we would line up the 3 numbers, and then you're going to check the back to see if that is the right code. If it is the right code, then you'll see the color of the riddle in this little window here as well. So this is wrong, but for the sake of this, we'll say it's right. If it is correct and those that matches this color, matches this color, matches this color, you have the right code, at which case you're going to then look at the symbols. From the out going in, you're going to have a triangle, a plus sign, and a circle. You would then find the adventure card here that has those same 3 symbols, like that, and you would turn it over, and this is going to, again, progress the story and then tell you what materials to take next. As I said earlier, the riddle cards all have the letters on the back, so this one, whenever you take it, it would tell you that you're going to need these riddle cards next and a couple other materials from the box. You're going to keep doing that, go through the riddle cards and the adventure cards until you reach the end of the puzzle, kind of the resolution. If you ever get stuck though, of course there is the help book. The help book offers 2 clues for each of the riddles. It is double-sided, so because this does come with 2 different puzzles here. So if you're working the Mystery at Meanstone Manor, then you'd use this side. If you're doing the Caper at Candy Castle, you'd use this side. 2 clues for each riddle with the answer on the back if you really need. And that's going to do it. All right, so first up, I want to say there is one component that comes in the box, and this is not necessarily a spoiler because you see it as soon as you open the box, and that is a box. Okay, so it's the box that's in the box. In the version I was playing, these kind of dowels here came not in them. They had fallen out in transport. So going through the puzzle, I did put together that they're all supposed to be in there, and that is part of the puzzle, is which ones do you remove. So when you get this, if yours are out as well, just be sure to insert all the dowels back in, because you will need that in order to, well, do the puzzle, to actually, go through that. If they're out, then it doesn't work. So just make sure they're all inserted into there. But yeah, with that, let's start right there with the puzzles. I did this with my 12-year-old son. It is his first venture into anything escape. And I found the puzzles to be very engaging. I actually asked his thoughts, and he said that that was his favorite part of the game. There were multiple moments where his mind was just blown. He's like, what? There's no way this is going to work. Oh my gosh, they did what? He was just impressed the entire game. And so the puzzles are all in standard Exit form that I found with their other games. They're all very unique. They're very well thought out. And I think very interesting and engaging. This does have very engaging puzzles to it, meaning there are times that you have to actively participate in the puzzle as well, which I thought was unique and interesting and very good for younger kids. I think, they kind of get the wiggles, and it's good to get them involved as well. I also think that there are skills involved in these puzzles that are great for children to do. In typical exit form, again, you are going to be folding stuff, you're going to be cutting stuff, you're going to be writing, you're going to be drawing, you're going to be manipulating. So a lot of little fine motor skills that I think they really found a sweet spot on having them involved, having the kids involved and having the skill level on that stuff low enough that they can. There was no really intricate cutting, but there were cutting so the kids can feel like they have that part, and it's not that they always have to, okay, mom and dad, you do this part, turn it back over. So a really great job with the puzzles, being unique, being interesting, keeping the kids involved, and keeping it at their skill level. I really liked that. That being said, the downside of it, I think, is the story. The story for my 12-year-old was pretty eye-rolly. He was not engaged in the story and definitely found it to be the weakest part. It's definitely geared towards younger children. I'm going to say the story age, you're looking at anything from 5 to 7 max. It's very kiddie. I mean the castle, the big evil castle, whatever, is called Meanstone Manor, and they really play into that. The meanie, they just keep it very, very light. And so that was kind of a turnoff for the age group that I was playing at, but I think if you are playing with a younger kid, then you wouldn't have that. The final thing I want to mention here is just Exit in general, because this is the first time also that I used the app. I did go through the how to play, of course, just to make sure that there's no changes from any of the other exits I played, but also because I wanted my son to go through it. And I think the app, which they do provide a QR code for, to actually learn the game is, once again, very engaging. And what kid doesn't want to sit and watch like a little kind of video on how to play, with the animations, and it takes you step by step. It says to do something, you do it, you hit next. And so it is, once again, engaging. So with that, my final thoughts here, I think that word sums it up. This is a very engaging game for the whole family, I think, across multiple ages, whether the story is going to grip them, whether it's going to be the puzzles that grip them, that are just going to be really interesting. It's really, really engaging. Everybody gets involved. I'm going to come in at a 7.5 though, because for me, the story was just too much of a drawback. I do think that it's very limiting in kind of scope and age range. Outside of, like I said, above age 7, I think the story is just too young, too kiddie. And so, and doesn't quite match where the puzzles are, so you're going to want older kids as well to help with that. And by older kids, again, I mean 8 to 12. So for me, it's a 7.5. It was a great experience. We did finish it in about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. That was right at the sweet spot of kind of what my son can sit down and do in a game. And so yeah, it fit really, really well into the Exit collection. So with that is going to do it for this game, Exit the Game Family, the Mystery at Meanstone Manor. It's a 7.5, a seal of recommendation. Definitely recommend it for families to check this out if it's something that you think you'd be interested in doing one night. So with that, thanks for joining me here. I'm Camilla, and we'll see you next time.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.